Have you ever woken up after what seemed like a full night's sleep and still felt mentally exhausted? Not physically tired, but cognitively slow. Foggy. Unfocused. As though your brain simply refuses to engage. This experience is far more common than most people realize. And crucially, it reveals something important: sleep duration and mental restoration are not the same thing.
Welcome to SciCuriousID, where curiosity meets science.
For much of modern history, sleep was viewed as a passive state, a shutdown mode for the body. However, contemporary neuroscience paints a very different picture. Research from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke demonstrates that sleep is an active biological process, during which the brain reorganizes neural connections, consolidates memory, and clears metabolic waste. One of the most significant discoveries in recent decades involves what scientists call the glymphatic system. Studies published in Nature Neuroscience describe how, during deep sleep, cerebrospinal fluid flows through brain tissue, effectively washing away accumulated waste products, including beta-amyloid proteins. This cleaning mechanism operates most efficiently during slow-wave sleep, the deepest stage of non-REM sleep. If your sleep lacks sufficient deep sleep, your brain may not complete this nightly maintenance. You may have slept for 8 hours, but your brain may not have fully recovered. Another factor involves cognitive load. Modern life imposes an unprecedented volume of information processing. Emails, notifications, decision-making, multitasking. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that sustained mental effort increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for executive function. When this region is repeatedly taxed without adequate recovery, individuals experience what psychologists refer to as decision fatigue. Even if sleep duration appears adequate, persistent cognitive overload can leave neural circuits functionally depleted. Stress further complicates the equation. The hormone cortisol follows a circadian rhythm, typically peaking in the morning and declining throughout the day. However, chronic stress disrupts this rhythm. According to research, irregular cortisol patterns impair sleep architecture, reducing deep sleep and fragmenting REM cycles. In practical terms, this means you may remain physiologically on alert during the night, even if you do not consciously wake. Your body lies still, but your nervous system does not fully power down. There is also the matter of sleep quality versus sleep quantity. Alcohol consumption, late-night screen exposure, and inconsistent bedtimes interfere with melatonin production and circadian alignment. Blue light emitted from digital devices delays the release of melatonin. Over time, this leads to circadian misalignment, a subtle but powerful disruption. You may sleep long enough, but at the wrong biological phase. The result is social jet lag. Inflammation plays a quieter but equally important role. Emerging evidence suggests that low-grade systemic inflammation can impair both sleep depth and alertness. The immune system and the nervous system are closely intertwined. When one is dysregulated, the other follows. So what does this mean? It means that mental fatigue is rarely caused by sleep duration alone. It reflects a complex interaction. To feel mentally restored, the brain requires sufficient slow-wave sleep, stable circadian rhythms, reduced evening stimulation, manageable cognitive load, and regulated stress hormones. Without these conditions, sleep becomes incomplete, even if it appears sufficient on the surface. The paradox of modern fatigue is this: we often focus on sleeping longer when what we truly require is sleeping better. And perhaps more importantly, living in a way that allows the brain to recover. The next time you wake feeling mentally drained, it may not be a failure of sleep itself. It may be a signal that your brain has been working harder than you realized. Now consider this: do you feel physically rested but mentally foggy? Or mentally sharp but physically drained? What is draining your brain the most? Let us know in the comments.
Thanks for watching SciCuriousID. Until next time.